options open. There's plenty of first pickable options here.
Come on, Munch. You've been on the LPL for so long. Is there a chance that Renekton is meta, he's blind pickable, and he won't be B1'd by LPL top laners? I don't think so. Sheer on a carry one more time. However, AL get a very strong potent duo, Brand/Tristana. Now, Corki is in the picture again. We have seen Yagao play the Corki, who was on Tristana on the other way on the previous game. However, he could very easily pull that. I do not want to see Kanavi on Car. I'll see Kanavi on Karthus. It's fine. We'll take it. Corki plus Karthus locked in. Just a little bit of an asterisk right here. The only reason why I don't want to see Kanavi on Karthus is because I love when Kanavi gets more active on the map. The fact that he did have the Zarya and he was able to be more involved on those early game fights is what changed the course of that game that we saw over in game number 1.
He certainly had a big impact in that previous game. I think he was trying to make an argument for MVP on the Zarya. Unfortunately, Ruler just went absolutely super sane. Alex going to go for the Jax once again in that top side. The Rumble already found a way, but he's against the Renekton, so he's quite happy. Doesn't have to go against that damn lightning rat again in the top side, so they can start buying 80 carries instead. And it will be Ruler's Ezreal taken away.
And I feel like we're looking for things that can scale very easily into the late game and complement things like the Karthus and the Corki. I'm looking potentially at Zeri for someone like Ruler. I'm looking at potentially something like a Kaisa. You could poke people out and then just the Requiem drops in and just slam someone away from existence. So things like that for Ruler could be really good to just pair up with the rest of the composition. And also for JDG, you're looking for some engage tools. Same for AL right here. So things like the Rel. Nautilus has already been banned away. The Rel and the Alisa would possibly be of priority here.
Could be potential bans here for JDG. We'll see what's going to come through, and we'll see if AL do want to go for their AD carry next, or if they want to prioritise support Misfortune actually take it up the board. One thing I will say that is open, Jhin is something that was very high priority earlier on in the split. Kind of fell off a little bit, but we have seen Ruler play it recently. Played it in that series against FPX, so there's still space for that. But Kais is open. We've seen Zeri a couple of times today as a big option as well. Looks like there will be a support pick here for AL first. Oh,
I'm not gonna lie, if the Kaisa does get locked in right here, I'm expecting Rule to potentially go for something like the Zarya. He's done it before. It's pretty good into the Kaisa, but it's also very good into the Brand. The second you've got that ultimate on you, you can press that ult as well and sort of evade. And it is a Ruler pick since he does have his own world skin on it. He's picked it before as well. But we'll see the Zeri is also something that we mentioned earlier could be very well paired up in terms of scaling with the Karthus and the Corki.
So the round goes through. Like I say, Zarya could be an option. It would be a signature for Ruler. And again, he could always take that cord to the bot lane. That's an option. But to be honest, the problem with the Zarya is you're probably up against AP Kai'Sa. Zarya can really struggle in that scenario. I remember, I don't remember which worlds it was, but there was one worlds where AP Kai'Sa kept on just beating out the Zarya because he just could never get in range to do anything. The Zeri comes through for Ruler in the end, and AL look to finish their composition with their own support.
Let's see what it's going to be. It's most likely going to be Alistar, let's be honest. Whenever there's a Rel, it's pulled up by an Alistar. Not this case. We haven't seen a Maokai support in quite a while. Can very easily mark territory as well with all the seeds. Makes it so difficult to approach towards that bot side of the map. And also point-click CC for the engage onto the Zeri later on could be huge. It pretty much follows up suit to things like the Vi or the Nautilus.
So it does. I've got to say, Maokai, I think, he's almost always good. It's one of those champions that I feel like whichever team has it, usually it's a good thing for you. It's very easy to play around the play pattern of a Maokai. Does well against the Rel as you can punt her out of the crash down. Let's see if that kind of interaction can come on through. Plenty of extremely high skill cap champions coming on through in this draft. We've got Kanavi on a very big scaling pick too.
I think my eyes are specifically onto Yagao. I think there should be like some sort of redemption arc coming in from the mid laner of JDG for the performance in game number 1. However, he was targeted. I can't give it all up to him. for being pinned down in lane. However, right here with the Corki, he has the tools to right the wrongs in game number 1 and allow Kanavi for a pretty smooth sailing early game where he just clears the jungle, gets to his 3 items, and just sails through that lane game.
Let's see if Kanavi can make this Karthus work. He's played it 3 times this split. He's only won 1 of those games and his KDA is less than 2. It's not inspirational statistically, but let's see if it can work out as we head into game 2. We'll kick it over to the crowd for our Gyos once more.
Yankos!
Oh man, the Yankos fan club is out in force today, and they've made it on the screen. Fantastic.
Unfortunately, not immediately inside this time around to celebrate Yankos as well. It's not going to be the case.
Or Sichuani.
Oh, Sichuani, yeah. He sneaked in. Might get found out by Sheer here.
He's going to walk on in. Allet will have that counter-strike, just does a tiny bit of damage, has to walk away. I think he was just hoping to get a really late ward into that jungle, but won't be able to do it, unfortunately for him.
Now, things that we have seen from Karthus earlier on, and especially from my LPL, the Karthus play a little bit more on the offensive side in the LPL. You'll see the full clear straight into things like the top lane dive. You see this quite a lot, especially with Twisted Fate up in the top lane when it's paired up with the Karthus, because the gold card, the wall, and the Skittles match really well together, and you sort of keep poking in and out of tower range until you can make the all-in and kill that top lane. However, it is going to be also Croco that's pathing towards the top side of the map. Let's see if Sheer and Kanavi can make it work towards the top side of the map, or even if they're going to attempt to.
Nice start there by Alan, moves into the lane, gets that counter-strike trade going, gets his grasp proc, which is what you're looking for. See how aggressive Kanavi gets. He started on his bot side, he's pathing up top. See how much trouble Ala could be under. Kael fighting for lane presence in that bottom side. Terry not the best at fighting for level 2. Whereas Kaiser, the Q hitting the whole wave can help you clear those minions that it should be. But Kael, actually I think both bot lanes hit level 2 about at the same time there.
Yeah, and as you can see the top side of the map, Alec, he's already building his own wave up against Sheer.
All had to cleanse already, and then the Ignite goes down afterwards, and it means Missing is just taking a chunk from Hope, as now trading in the top side, but Sheer, the wrong side of the matchup, dashes back in. Tries to clear these minions. Aggressive top lane, and remember, Kanavi is up towards that top side right now. This could get a little bit dangerous for Ala. Sheer just hitting level 3. Well, no, he leveled his Q twice. He doesn't have his W. I guess Kanavi has no interest in the top lane.
There are both of these junglers who are heading towards the top side, as you mentioned. However, they have both been spotted, both on wards. Now the ward is going to expire. Kanavi is sprinting towards the top side of the map, but so is Croco. Last time those two guys met, it was disaster.
There's no stun for Sheer. There is just no play here for JDG. But I guess there's no play here for AL either, because Sheer's in a defensive position.
Shanks.
Kanavi now going to be chased out of his own jungle as Shanks gets the jump onto him. Flash available for Shanks. There's the reset. Kanavi already flashed. That's first blood. AL take the lead once more.
And you remember how important that mid lane was for both of these junglers, allowing you the freedom to clear, to be inside your jungle, to exist inside your jungle. Karthus loves all the gold, all the juice, to be able to get all those items, get that Requiem to hurt early on. Great punish right there by Shanks. Shoves in the wave in the mid lane, straight into that jungle to assist his jungler. Grabs that first kill as well. Will give him the upper hand in that mid lane matchup too.
Fantastic bit of play from Shanks. Early lead once again from Yagao, who has been having a tough series. And you know, that kill obviously was not his fault, just gets pushed in by the Tristana. A great roam. Kanavi not expecting, I think, the roam from the enemy mid laner, but Croco happy to invade alongside Shanks and sets up beautifully for AL. Find themselves an early lead once more. Croco will get into his jungle in time, will defend from any kind of invades as Kanavi goes back to his own jungle, and we will just have these 4 clears coming through once more.
And Shanks, a little bit more of an investment in the future. Together with Alec, they both have the call in their inventory. Trying to go for that mid-game spike. getting that extra kill for Shanks is definitely going to help with a double longsword right there. Being able to do exactly what he does, jump forward, take a pretty favorable trade into Yagao's Corki.
Yeah, double
And again,
buffs too.
these kind of trades are getting very dangerous for Kanavi. Especially if you look on your screens right now, Kael is already on his way mid lane. And finding the Garth in his jungle, punishing him now that Kanavi does not have flash, could potentially be a play for AL.
Could be.
Oh, Croco's looking.
Well, Missing is going to face check right into this one. That's a full combo out from Croco, and with Missing chunked that heavily, you'd expect that to be an advantage on the grubs for the side of AL. They've consistently had prio from Ala in the top side. Shanks has basically infinite prio in the mid lane right now. You would expect Croco to be able to just start that one off. Bomb comes out from Shanks. He is level 6, and Yagao fully respects that level discrepancy as he just bounced out. But now a play on the top side. Ala, the target, crash down, lands, and Sheer has some damage and a half. That's going to be Kanavi helping out as Sheer grabs himself a kill right before the grubs spawn on the top side. Croco didn't find the stun. It means AL just have to back away.
Great play from JDG. They knew that the river did not belong to them with too many members of AL around. They're looking for more.
So greedy. What are you doing there, lads? They know that they don't have a top laner. They try and clear the ward. I guess they thought JDG had fully committed to the grubs, but that was way too far.
I don't know what they think that they thought that they were thinking. That was so much of an outreach from AL. You are outnumbered. You've lost your top laner. There's no TP on Ale to come back and aid you either. So greedy, as you mentioned, from AL. And again, JDG, I feel like that was a great lane gank coming in from them. Let's look at this again. Missing coming in from lane. The flash Q forward to pin down Ale as well. There is no counter-strike onto Ale. He had used in the previous skirmish with Sheer. And Kael and Croco stay around. Shanks is all the way in the mid lane. Yagao is keeping him there. They're trading blows back and forth. That is a 3v2 you've just committed yourself into.
I feel like they're like looking for a pick on Missing, but even if you get the pick on Missing, I'm pretty sure you just both die in that scenario. Like, I really struggled to see the way that play ends well for AL, honestly. Bit of a weird one, because, I mean, we've been praising AL all day long about how good their early game has been and how clean their game plans have been, you know? It feels like they know what's going on. It feels like they're quite coordinated, generally speaking. Not the case on that one. Bit of a weird play out from AL. JDG very happy with this one because they're ahead in the early game. This Renekton, this was their B1 pick, remember, for Sheer. This player that they are setting up to essentially be the predecessor, it seems, to Flandre. He's the one that's starting each game at the moment, and he's once again on a carry, once again set up. This time around, he's got a big lead for himself.
And this is great news for the top laner, right? You mentioned his development. He was subbed out in playoffs in spring. He was starting a lot of these games early on in season, but when the really important games came in for JDG was Flandre that was starting now. Another trust in the faith of JDG lies on his shoulders and his potential, not only to develop, but to carry a team straight out right here, right now. This is the team that has been completely undefeated. We're not talking series undefeated, we're talking games undefeated. AL came into this series without having lost a singular game in group Ascent. It was pure dominance for them. And don't get me wrong, AL have still been playing the game the entire time. However, JDG seemed to be mimicking a lot of the habits that AL were showing in a lot of their games and making them better. I've not seen JDG be this proactive in a very long time. Kanavi, though, is going to spot Ale.
AL forced away. Look at the size of that top wave that's about to crash onto the tower. Sheer will be able to push that as slowly as he physically can.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he just used his E as well. He's going to walk straight into three
no,
of them.
Sheer.
He lacks critical information. Now, he lacks his critical vitals. Sheer going to try and get underneath the tower, maybe get a plate or something, I don't know. Goes down in the end, 1v3. Shanks now caught towards the mid lane, but he'll be able to just rocket jump his way to safety. Dodges the wall of paint, so no follow-up from Kanavi either.
Yeah, he was trying to rotate towards the top side of the map just in case JDG were following up with a play. Gets caught in the river. Ruler, though.
Oh. Oh, is this going to continue? Is Hope going to get dived by Ruler? The flash forwards, and Hope gets the shield. But that is the Requiem, and Kanavi sweeps up another.
Ruler and Kanavi against the world once again. Missing has found enemy support.
Kael pulled back in, and Kanavi just getting kills gifted on a silver platter here.
Oh, no, Yagao.
Back-to-back. Yagao TP's in. Shanks can look for something as Croco is there alongside him in the mid lane. Ala crashes away, starts to move towards that himself. Yagao's going to face check.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Croco wants it so bad. You can see how bad he's itching for it. Yagao's going to Valkyrie away. Nothing will come of it in the mid lane.
I felt like they were going to engage straight up on him when the TP landed. There were flashes on both mid lane and jungle from the side of AL. Maybe they could try to play this a little bit more aggressive, but let's have a look down in the bot lane. Ruler following up from the streak in the previous game, back on track. No creeps to hide behind from Hope. Ults forward, gets the shield, and that's all she wrote.
Nearly dies to the minions there. That would have been a solo kill if he died to the minions before the Requiem finished off. Great stuff from Roland, set up for his jungler. Ala now bullied away in the top side. That's 6 grubs for JDG. Hope gonna trade for some plates in the bottom side in the meantime. AL got the first Drake of the game as well, and the next one coming up in a minute's time. You expect AL to want to keep stacking those, but whether or not they'll get the chance is a different question.
JDG are so dominant on the map right now. Their rotations are clean. They're super fast. They've got a very clear vision of what to do. Ruler instantly after the solo kill presses B, goes towards the top side of the map. Oh,
Yagao gonna
Yagao.
dive in the mid lane. Yagao the target once again. Ala happy to go underneath the tower and finish the job. Shanks grabs it with the bomb in the end. And AL starting to put some pressure back on towards JDG. They knew they were falling behind and they got to do something about it. Ruler in the meantime though, is just taking a solo tower on Zeri top lane. Croco found in the jungle. Missing goes in with absolutely no follow-up from anyone. Has to flash back out. And Kanavi now found by Shanks in the jungle. Flashes towards... What? Shanks still alive. Requiem not available. 2 seconds on that cooldown. Sheer over the wall now to find the follow-up. Shanks jumps away though, and Sheer trying to close the gap, but there's a ward. He's still being hit by these bombs as Shanks still in enemy territory right now. He's been there forever. Kael trying to get into the brush, and that's a Requiem across the team. It's a double kill on the Requiem. The burn is there on Shanks, and missing will set up for Sheer to finish the job.
That was one of the most chaotic fights we've had this entire series. That was Kanavi respawning and pressed Requiem. That's how long this went on for. When he died, his ultimate was on an 8-second cooldown. His passive was not quite long enough for him to stay alive to press R. JDG coming up clutch with the R factor that Karthus brings into this game. I mean, luckily for them.
4 kills now on Kanavi, and all, like 3 of them were Requiem, and 1 of them was just Kael face checking into the brush. I feel like he has been absolutely gifted all of his gold in this game, but my God, does he have a lead. 1.7 thousand in his pocket, and Ruler, the same lead down in that bottom lane as well. The carries of JDG are well and truly online.
Let's look at this one more time. Yagao, great isolation kill from AL right here. They know that missing is on a reset. They see Ruler top, they sheer down bot lane. They're like, only the Karthus could be around, which we can handle. Great stuff from AL so far. Kanavi walks back into his jungle. I'm not sure what this 2 versus 3 is, because I don't feel like Rel and Karthus can take care of that trio right there from AL. And the flash forward is even more mind-blowing from Kanavi, considering he does not have the ultimate. Now, Sheer thinks he has lethal right here, but Shanks will jump away. And as you mentioned, that distance that was created between Shanks and Sheer pushes Sheer back underneath his tower. And that was Kanavi respawning to press R.
I don't know if they're necessarily playing around the respawn Requiem, but I do think the JDG were intentionally extending that fight and just trying to keep AL there because Ruler had just finished the tower top, moves down in like a flanking position on Zeri. I think JDG were essentially trying to set up for Ruler to get like a double or a triple kill in that fight. Didn't quite work out, but Kanavi had Requiem, so it's fine. But I think that was a totally intentional play from JDG, not just overstepping for the sake of it.
Okay, thanks for the gold, AL. This is Kanavi. Cashing in. From
He's
his
got
rune.
Malignance at this point. The cooldown is not that long in his ult anymore.
Yeah. First strike, OP. Malignance already completed. Got Blackfire Torch as well. The second you see that hat in the inventory is where things start really getting dodgy for AL. 2 Needless Lads rolls, a couple more gold. And Kanavi will be there with how much gold he already has in his pocket compared to his counterpart. He's 2 items in. Brand is just cruising the rift with just Leandris in his pocket missing. He's going to be scouting around. Next dragon coming up in 3 minutes. However, you definitely want to be laying down some vision for Yagao to pressure towards that bot lane, especially since you're missing that bot lane tier 1. Very, very scary for just your Corki to be pushing in alone. Kael, though, will step up to just help Shanks re-establish some control under the tower.
Play on the top side from Croco and Ala. Sheer takes a bit of damage, but that is one tanky Croc at this point. They can't force it any further. They don't have the damage to just 100 to 0 him underneath the tower with Dominus in play. Black Cleaver means he's threatening enough. They can't really afford to tank the tower themselves. Shanks has to back away in the bottom side as JDG playing opposite. TP comes through top from Sheer. And immediately there is an answer from Shanks, and suddenly Sheer is on the wrong side of this party. Requiem gonna come on through. It will chunk everyone. I don't know if that's necessarily enough for Sheer to turn it into anything. Then again, I guess it's just first strike as well. Sheer just running around the map as long as he can, buying as much time for his team as possible. And it's set up well for JDG now, slamming Herald in the mid lane, while Yagao pushes in the bottom lane as well. This will be a tier 1 in the mid lane taken. As JDG, they lose their top laner. Maybe look for more in the mid lane as well. The Herald might get a second charge here. No, the minion wave just there in time to stop it.
Great pressure from JDG right there. Sheer TPing back into his tower. The TP being committed by AL. And Kanavi putting down the ultimate, making sure that there could be a threat. Ether and Necton chose to head back, but the quick reply on the mid lane tier 1 tower, taking down that vision tower that was pressing down bot lane, forcing Ali to TP to reply to that wave being pressured. So AL, it's like I'm seeing what AL has done to every other team here, Munch. It feels like if I took down all the names, if I took off the nameplates, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's definitely AL pressuring the map. Again, I am loving the pressure of execution that AL has put onto JDG and how proactive this has made JDG into the early game. We're 17 minutes in, they've already had 7 kill participation onto Kanavi. That's great stuff.
And I love as well that this is a matchup now between 2 teams that, like JDG, a team that we expected to be an absolute top team who have faltered a little bit. They've shown weakness so far. And they've come in kind of redeeming themselves to some extent. AL have looked like themselves. It's not like they've made a couple of strange mistakes in this one, but overall it feels like this is a much higher quality series than perhaps JDG have shown so far in the group stage. Really nice to see that this is competitive, and the hope is caught out once again. Ruler trying to find him. Remember, Requiem is there, and the rocket from Yagao, is it enough? Not quite. 200 health remaining as Ala chunked by Sheer and forced to back away. The Grandmaster's Might keeps him alive, but that's all that keeps him alive.
And that is the ultimate gone for Jack. Super chunked down for Ali. Doesn't have time to go back to base and TP back in. Doesn't have the summoner spell available. JDG will take that dragon and get out. And again, that Requiem has posed so much threat all over the map. Yeah. Not only for the chase that we saw from JDG, but then Sheer gets to step up in the fight into the Jax and take him down. I just want to also point out the Black Cleaver coming in first for Sheer. This is a 369 special, especially with a double 80 carry meta. Having that Black Cleaver for extra shred on those fights, for both of your 80 carries to hit even harder, is of such pivotal importance. So having that Renekton around is definitely a plus. However, Kanavi might get caught in no man's land. He has some backup for now from Sheeran missing.
Shanks manages to steal away that crab. We're only 19.5 minutes into this one. This feels late game. This feels a lot later than it is. Ho, you know, getting caught.
Whole sense of security right there.
Good ult from him and from Kael, though, to save him. And the counter-strike was used bot to Sheer. Just has a free fight for himself.
Oh, and he stuns him onto the Malignant's damage as well. Again, great stuff coming in from JDG. Another Requiem for some more pocket for Kanavi right there.
How much?
Presses on cooldown, cashes in. Yep.
So he
not
did
needed
that.
For another, let's say, realistically 3.5 minutes for the next technically fight for an objective.
Yeah, he did that about 2010. So I'm going to keep my eyes. Or in fact, we can see the cooldown is 65 minutes away. I didn't realize the observers had clicked him. So a minute until that next one comes up. Ruler caught! Twice in 2 games, Ruler just pushes up mid too far alone. That could be Baron.
Hope literally 2 minutes ago did the exact same thing. AL are going to be starting the Baron.
No.
Only 180 carry remaining out of the 2. Yagao is going to have to do damage for both.
Oh, Ruler, that is just not it, is it? That's going to be Baron, unless Kanavi can get into the pit. Smite! Of course he can! It's Kanavi! Goes into death, but it doesn't matter because he's caught this! And JDG are finding a buy anyway. No Shanks! Finishes it off! The health bars aren't enough! Somehow there's only 1 man remaining on the rift!
Kanavi steals the Baron, and JDG, you could see the porter, they were laughing after this happened. They were happy, they were ecstatic. Not only do they take the Baron away from AL, they also almost win a 4 versus 5. Technically, Ruler was caught. Let's have a look at this one more time. Kanavi flashes into the pit. You see him missing. Tries to tank the root, but Kanavi gets hit anyway. Flashes in the pit at 1.3k HP. So freaking calculated. And reminder, when Karthus dies, he doesn't remain dead. So with everyone in the pit, he was able to output so much damage being in his passive.
As a passionate fan in the crowd right there. I've got to be honest, when Missing and Sheer comboed together in that fight, I thought it was over. But Shanks just kind of stood at the entrance of the Baron pit with his cannon in hand, shooting fish in a barrel. I thought he was playing Tristana, but it looks like a Graves at this rate because that was just an explosive finish to the fight. 4K lead for JDG. 22 minutes on the clock and 21 kills on the board. You really couldn't ask for much more, could you? This has been an absolute banger.
4,000 gold in the lead for JDG, as you mentioned. 3,000 out of all that is on Kanavi's Karthus. That has now finished a 3rd item. Leandris completed for him as well. And again, all eyes on the Dark Requiem, because it's not just been pulled down for the cashing through first strike. Every single time you see Sheer and Ale in the same picture, all alone. A lot of the times Kanavi has pulled the trigger to just trying to make it a very favorable matchup and 1v1 for Sheer on that top side of the map. Now let's see, 50 seconds for the next Dragon, and AL are already dipping into bot side river, establishing some vision, taking some control into Kanavi's jungle on that bot side of the map.
First strike gone from Kanavi, just as Requiem is about to come up. Nice little shot there from Hope. Only 2 items on the Kai'Sa, not really enough to be that proper AP Kai'Sa, and it does feel like these are late game fights, bizarrely. Only 23 minutes into the game. As AL setting up to try and grab this Drake for themselves. Like you said, 20 seconds till that comes up. Hope will be able to fight for Prio mid. One more Q will finish the job as he rejoins the rest of his team. Ala pushing in that top side as well. Remember, the Jacks only going to get stronger with time in a side lane, but JDG really want to fight for this Drake if they can.
And a few things that are very dangerous for AL right here. Hope does not have his flash or his cleanse available. Does he get caught in one of the wombo combos? Does he get caught by missing? This could be huge right here. The Requiem is going to be used for a lot of poke.
Pre-fight Requiem sets it up, Croco moves in and he gets the smite. Nicely done, revenge for the Baron as he jumps in with a Pyroclasm as well. This is a fight for AL that's 4v5 and they're winning it anyway. Ala is on the flank as Ruler tries to pop up, but Hope's alive and Ala arrives on the scene. Ruler kiting away, but a Void Seeker finds its mark. AL back in the game.
Still the dragon. They take the fight. 3 members down from JDG. They get to push both. They're pushing that mid with Ale as well. What a fantastic fight for them. JDG looked like chickens with their necks cut in this fight. They didn't know whether they wanted to go forward or backwards. They seemed very confused, and AL, that's all you need to give them. A slight misdirection in the fight from JDG cost them the entire team fight. Let's watch this again. Croco walks up 300 HP, no problem. Presses Smite takes that one. And look how everyone gets poked out by a fantastic ultimate right here by Croco. The second missing gets an insane engage. He's dead right as he slams down. Great flank from Ale as well to pick up any stragglers into the backline. Great team fight from AL after all.
Oh no, Yagao's
Yagao.
caught. Oh, Yagao,
Wait, what?
no! Come on, man! JDG taken apart at the Dragon. It's a third Drake for AL, and now Yagao caught out in the side lane for no reason at all. And pocket change, Kanavi.
He's trying so hard, you know, every single time Requiem is available, he's like, please, I need to try and get more items. My mid laner is 2.3k gold down. Someone needs to make up for that difference. 80 carries, dead even. All the gold difference is between the mid laners and the junglers. It's Shanks versus Kanavi at this point. 3 items for Tristana, 3 items for Kanavi. I already see that pink rod in that inventory of Kanavi. He only needs 1 more of those.
Look at this.
And a little bit more gold.
Tier 2 in the top lane will be taken down by Shanks here, and that's all off the back of Yagao getting caught out. There just aren't enough players on the map from JDG to deny objectives from AL. Fantastic bit of pressure. I really hope AL can finish this one off. I'd love to see a third game of the series, because this has just been such a quality series, such fun to watch these team fights, and they have been chaotic team fights from either team. Shanks has been really stepping up this year, and it feels like he could be the highlight player. Him and Hope both in a massive position to carry these fights. Similarly though, Kanavi is massive on that Karthus. He really cannot be counted out.
And Baron is the place that you definitely want to be fighting when you are the Karthus. You can take this down so quickly. You've got double AD carry, you've got Cleaver onto that Renekton as well. This could be a huge fight for them. Okay. Karthus 6 down, missing with an insane positioning right there. Magicall has to move out.
Baron's
AL are walking in.
Here. JDG are going to grab themselves. Baron, but Alan gets a counter-strike on everyone. Hope there to follow up, and AL win the fight already. Requiem comes on through as Yagao last alive and taken down AL. Decisive answer to JDG's action.
AL absolutely run over JDG. JDG cramped up on that Baron, got engaged on Hope, jumps into the backline, absolutely decimates them. AL, could they potentially be looking for an end here? They do have 4 members. Tristana and Jack steal a lot of damage to towers.
My wishes have been answered. AL are going to push us to 3 games. 20 seconds on the respawns, and there is a minion wave to work with. Shanks immediately gets onto the tower, and just a great team fight coming out from AL. Everybody pitching in, everybody being a part of it. Nexus laid bare, nothing Missing can do about it. 19-12 as a 28-minute win goes into the column for AL.
And this game started very promising from the side of JDG. They had some incredible proactive plays. They got the Renekton ahead. They got Ruler ahead. Kanavi was insanely rich this entire game. However, it did not matter, because once AL pulled the trigger, they just all dived in one by one. I feel like this brand has been very problematic, because even in game number 1, Croco has had some fantastic ultimates, and the way he changed his abilities, I feel like they just need to take it away from Croco in game number 3.
I'm just so glad that AL don't fall 2-0 here. They go up against another top team, and they prove that they are in striking distance. They prove that they are a contender. We're going the whole distance in this series, and I wouldn't have it any other way. We'll be right back.